So there's something else I want to teach you again, how to filter. Okay, let's start filtering before we die. So we want to say filter anything, because you could have like thousands of data rows. Not only this one, we can say, okay, this is 7,000. So, okay, how do we even filter to see what we have in our data frame? So one way to filter is just to df. Okay, if I want to filter on my income column, income. So I want to say where income is greater than, or let's say less than 10,000, because our minimum, because I want to filter to give me anything, because I already have the range I'm working with, like in tens of thousands. So anything less than 10,000 could be an outlier. So I want to see, okay, where that is. What's the error? This is returning. Okay, not supported of string. Why this is not working? Because it's seeing it as a string, and the data type is a string. So we need to convert this to a not supported for string. So we need to convert that first of all to a float or an integer for that to work. So what you can do is dot as type integer. So this should be okay. This is what's the error is still running. Okay, cannot convert float to an integer. So when doing your data transformation, there are levels to different things you want to do. So we have our NaN values where you have missing values. So there are different ways you want to fill your NaN values. So you see that this is, I'm kind of filtering. So give me all the columns where my income is less than 10,000. And this is 7,000. So there are different ways you want to do this. I can say, okay, give me where it's less or greater than. So let me just copy this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So these are the two columns we want to address. Greater than, I want to do greater than 100,000, because that's the range we're working with. So anything greater than 100,000 or less than 10,000 in this our data set is an error. So it depends on the data. That's why you should know the data you're working with. So it depends on the data you're working with, so you know what is introducing an error. So 450,000 is way above, because by the time you do the mean of this, it gives you a very wide range, like the range rather, you see a very wide range that could be affecting your data. So now what I want to do now, I've been able to filter my data. So this is how you filter basically with there are other ways to filter. You could do dot apply, dot filter, but yes, basically I just prefer using this to filter. So you get that. So now I want to carry out an action based on these filters. So we'll do what we call the df.lock, your data frame.lock. So it gets the position of certain things, basically. So what this does is, so I can now bring in this my filter using this df.lock. I cannot get this, for example, say, so bring in this my filter, because this is the filter I want to work with, basically. And I say, okay, the income, the column I want to carry out my transformation on. So I do something like this. So now what do I want to do with this? So I want to, it should now be association. What this is saying is get the location where this is, where this condition is true. Give me the location where this is true. So for example, before I even do this, let me do something else so that you see what that is doing for you. So if I do this, so before I do this, let me just do this. If by the time I run this, what this returns is, so this is, it gives you that it's location 13, that this, so it picks out this index for you. This is the index I want to work with. So what is telling that, okay, on this index, this is what you do. On this column, this is what you do. Give me, so I want to multiply by 10, because this is 7,000. So I assume that, oh, it's 70,000 they wanted to call. I can say this times 10, basically. Then for, okay, then enter. So I can also do this for the one with greater than 100. What I want to do in this case, I want to divide by 10. Does this make sense, or I'm going too far? So we're filtering. So this is what you do when you start looking at transforming your data. Okay, so you use your df.log. So there's also what we call df.ilog. So you have df.log and we have df.ilog. So with log, this one we are calling the column name. Yeah, but with ilog, you call the index. Remember when we did indexing? So that, but in this way, I prefer log is just call on the column you need. With ilog, you'll be calling on the index, not the column name itself. Yeah, I think that's the difference between those two. So by the time I run this, for example, yeah, if I run my df, you see that they've been corrected. So you have our 70,000, we have this as 45,000. So using this, let me just go over the filtering again. So I want to filter. You can filter using anything. In this case, I'm filtering where I have, for example, let me even use, by the time I run this filter, you see that nothing will be returned because my df, this has been changed to 70,000. By the time I run this, it will come out as empty. So using more like those are conditional statements. So this is the reason why we learned those things before, because we'll be bringing everything we've learned into this. So I want to say, okay, give me data frame where my income column, so this is where I say where my income column is less than, let me use 40,000 for now. So give me all the columns where the income is less than 40,000. So I have only one, for example. If I say, okay, give me, let me make it 50. Give me all the columns where my income is less than 50,000. The income column is 50,000. So I could also do another filtering. I could say, okay, let me filter with gender. I can say, okay, now give me the column where gender. So I have gender. Gender should be capital later. Gender equals, remember using our equals, so equals male. By the time I run this, it gives me everything where I have only male gender. I can say, okay, give me where it equals female. So it's more like subsetting your data frame into, okay, I want to see what is, you could filter based on, okay, occupation, you could filter based on anything. But in this case, we just filter based on the income. Give me income where, like I said, give me age where people greater than something.